Hi guys and welcome to the stream, to this talk about, well, the Hulk. Will he survive in 40k? And with me, as always, is the comic book specialist, my friend Logan.
Yay.
Yay.
With Hulk
With Hulk.
behind us.
Yes, of course. So this behind us is, of course, if Hulk was in the 40k universe. So it is an interesting thing to think about. We already did, of course, Superman versus the 40k universe and Homelander, which nobody cared about.
He
Probably,
fits too much.
yeah, because he fits too much. So there's that. But Hulk is a very interesting guy. So Logan, tell us what are the powers of Hulk and which Hulk we're talking about
Yeah, most
today.
important, we talk about the established green Hulk. I mean, we forget about all the other personalities that he had in one moment or another, and it's as if that's all that he can do. So no access to the other personalities, because apparently he's crazy, that guy. So we take the established Green Hulk. So no Professor Hulk, no Doc Green, who is Hulk with the extremis virus inside him.
Extremist?
With the extremis virus, yeah, that Tony Stark has. He injected himself and then he becomes again smart and green. It's called Doc Green. It's ridiculous.
Jesus.
Anyway, yeah. No the Immortal Hulk, no the Devil Hulk and the other things that also exist. No the Maestro Hulk, which is his version, older version from the future when he's a conqueror and things like that, you know.
Just normal Hulk, okay?
No, yeah, exactly. As if the others really, one way or another, they stop existing at some point, you know. So now, except of all the ginormous powers that he has, like great strength, we know the angrier he gets, the
stronger he
gets. He also now at moments there were occasions that he actually, when he can't punch his way through a situation, he actually needs to use the intelligence of Bruce Banner so he can actually have access to that. Let's say that there is a bomb that he has to defuse and only a scientist know how to, and who cannot defuse it with a punch or with his thunderclap and anything else.
Maybe he can swallow it.
So maybe, but who knows? If it's a gamma bomb, actually, then it would work. So he can have access to the intelligence of Bruce Banner at that moment without him turning into the Professor Hulk or all the others. He can, much like Superman can actually absorb the sun energy, he can absorb and even emit the gamma radiation. Which means that if the guys at Warhammer have something like that, maybe he can be protected and use it. Yes. The one that not very many people know actually is that if people try to attack his mind, he's actually protected against that too.
That's very important because we have psychics.
So psychics attack and try to be mind controlled won't work on him. He's protected to that because really the angrier he gets and the scarier place his mind becomes for the people who try to be there and control it. So it's really not a good place to try in that moment. Plus Bruce Banner has this personality disorder, so it's kind of hard to know which mind exactly are we invading and controlling now. So actually that's the biggest thing here that I think will play a key feature. The mind control cannot happen over here. And of course his healing factor, that much like Deadpool and Wolverine, changed throughout the years, but what is established now is that he really can regenerate quite fast. Either because of the mutation or some writers decided to do it like that, but it's established now that he can regenerate really fast. And there were occasions in which actually he kind of put himself together even after everything was kind of destroyed about him, so he still regenerated.
Like Deadpool?
Kind of like that, yes.
Exactly. Interesting.
So yeah, he can do that, and now, as we say, in this form, the Maestro Hulk, which was his future version, also did it, but it's established that now he can do that too. And as we say, all the other powers, he is quite fast and agile because of all the muscles that he has. people will say that that's impossible because you have to be slow apparently, but
Actually, some
But
bodybuilders
as we know,
did
yeah,
disprove that they can make
exactly,
like whatever gymnastic stuff that you can
exactly,
imagine, pretty much.
yes, exactly.
Okay, so we have to compare basically what the 40k has as firepower and just what they usually have in terms of weapons, abilities. What can they do against the Hulk?
Well, I
Basically.
mean, they kind of slow him down because a rapid fire of really, really good guns can slow him down. Just like when he fights against the army and other guys who have more technology and all the other things, but it will be just slow down. I think, yeah.
Yeah, because the biggest machines that the 40k has, if we're talking about only the Imperium, we have huge freaking titans, the Imperial Knights. They can shoot him with enormous rockets. I mean,
Yeah.
rockets that are maybe 10 times bigger than the
Yeah,
Hulk. Who
but
knows?
he still survived things like that even in his universe. I mean, all sorts of machines, robots, rockets, and things like that. Whether inventions of Doctor Doom, who actually tried to fight him, or the leader, which is usually one of his villains, or just the inventions that the army will put against him, or some of the other tech guys that are there. Even we know that the Hulkbuster is also there. For him to defeat, let's say, because they are bigger guys, for him to defeat Ant-Man in his giant man form is quite easy.
Really?
Yeah.
He just
So, yeah.
punches Ant-Man in the face?
Either that, or he can punch him, let's say, in the knee and things like that, and it will be a punch that will break the knee. So, or even somewhere harder in the stomach or anything else, for him is not a problem, because Giant Man is not very fast, but Hulk is. So for him, that won't be a problem or anything. Also, he fought all sorts of other mutants, even copycats of him, like they were using his blood to have another guy's. Kinda Abomination is something like that, even in the comic books and in the movies. And there are other guys who are basically created by his blood, because they either were irradiated by that, or much like She-Hulk actually. So but they never had the same power, because with them it's not the rule that the angrier he gets. Also, at one moment he lifted Thor's hammer, but without breaking the rule, because he actually lifted Thor with the hammer.
But that's different.
but it's a heavy thing for the hammer. It's still something that you need really great strength to do it, even if Thor is holding it. Yeah. So he can lift it like that and hurl it really fast, but he won't have access to the powers, because he still has to let it go after that.
Yeah, that's irrelevant to the 40k though.
Yeah.
So let's think
just say
about
what he can
40k.
do, yes.
Yeah, because there's no such thing in 40k where there's a hammer and it's magical and you cannot pick it up, so on. So we gotta think 40k. So when it comes to the Imperium of Man, what I can think of is, of course, psychic powers, but then he cannot be controlled psychically.
Yeah.
He can be blasted with electricity psychic powers, but that will do nothing.
Won't do much, yeah.
He can be, fried by something like the Eye of Horus, which is basically what he has on his chest. It can melt armor, but that won't do anything.
I mean, it could melt some skin, but he can regenerate, so he'll come back even angrier after that.
Yeah, basically.
Also, if we go back to that story, which we'll probably never see in a movie because they messed it up, called Planet Hulk, and then followed by World of War Hulk. That's a story which is his Hulk meets a gladiator, the movie. Because he gets into this planet which kind of has a ruler that is a ruler because he did things, but he actually not supposed to be ruler, and he holds the whole planet just by fear and power, and he becomes a gladiator. Then he starts winning fights, and the people rally around him because they believe that that's the chosen one to get this king, I think it was, or still a type of emperor, to get him away and to become our real ruler, you know. Plus his blood kind of gave life to the planet because it was with the gamma radiation, and whatever his blood spilled, it actually started to have flowers and trees which they didn't have before that. So that for them was kind of like this a moment that they said, and he gives life even to our planet.
Wow. I
And
didn't expect that,
the
actually.
more battles he won, the more famous he became around the normal people. That emperor started to be afraid because, oh no, he might actually usurp me and things like that. So, which actually really happened. He gathered around the people, and this was a Hulk that kind of had intelligence, but just because Bruce Banner gave him the keys, saying to survive on this planet, you have to take full control. You know, otherwise Bruce Banner cannot survive that planet. So that's what happens if he goes actually to Warhammer, I think, because he adapts to exactly situations like that. Plus, I forgot to say, actually, he can adapt to live in space, to breathe,
Ooh.
because of the gamma radiation, he actually can do that, kind of like Doomsday. You know, he adapts to the environment that he has. He can even breathe underwater because of that. His body will adapt.
Even to space, which is a vacuum.
Yeah.
A very,
exactly.
very, very, very cold vacuum.
So they can't send him there. Or try to drown him or something like that, and so, as I said, he really became a ruler of that planet, and he was quite good. Then there was a bomb of his ship that exploded because of the Illuminati guys from the Avengers, who were, you know, another group that sent him there in the first place. But then he came back to Earth to fight them, and he defeated all of them, all of the Avengers. The only reason why they are alive was that after that he decided to, you know, he kind of found out about that the bomb on the ship did not explode because of the Avengers, but because of another guy who was on that planet, and he decided to let the Avengers win.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so,
kind of.
But if he didn't decide on that, so
it's disappointing to me.
But that story to me is kind of like what would happen if he gets to Warhammer, you know. So maybe some of the people will see him as a new hope, new champion or something like that.
Well, if he destroys the Imperium and the Emperor, he can just be the Emperor to a Pope.
Yeah.
Because he would do that. I mean, he can. Okay, let me think about it.
The Emperor have a generation or...
Oh my God. That's amazing. A vocast to nowhere.
Nice neck.
This is absolutely amazing. Welcome to the new member, and thank you so much to Shadow Kin, aka Stuart T. He's the one who
was
gifted
here the last time.
Gifted the membership. Thank you so much, Stuart. Thank you.
Nice. Well
Thank you.
done.
That's a great way to support the channel. Wow, that surprised me, really. Amazing surprise. Okay, now let's focus. I'm trying to focus on the 40k now, because I'm pretty sure that someone will say something like last time when we did the Superman one.
Because again, Hulk has inconsistent things, but and again, that's why we said this Hulk. To be even more precise, the Hulk in his Planet Hulk and World War Hulk persona. Because the other is just, if we go to the others, it's get really messy and bothersome. That's why this version. No purple Hulk, no whatever color Hulk, no
Red Hulk.
Red Hulk is not Bruce Banner.
Oh.
Yeah, no Grey Hulk. The Grey Hulk won't stand a chance. Any other Hulk, except maybe the Immortal Hulk, any other Hulk to me won't stand a chance, by the way, because they don't tap into all of those powers.
Oh.
You know, Professor Hulk, for example, is kind of bigger in size, but he's not as strong as he should be because Bruce Banner controls. So you don't have the anger thing, you don't have the anger he gets, you know, it's more like a strong guy.
So maybe he can be pierced by some of the weapons.
Yeah. I think yes, because then the regeneration won't work, as we say, that good. So yeah, maybe he can invent something really nice, but he doesn't need it in that situation. Plus, as we say, his body really adapts to all of that, and I think that he will even decide to put an armor or something like that. Yeah, would be nice.
Immortal Hulk versus Demon Primarch Angron will be so legendary.
It would be, but that's why I said we're not using that version after that. But I mean, can he turn into the Immortal Hulk if the situation requires it? Yes, but I think he defeated that persona now. It was kind of like a Devil Hulk. It's also called Devil Hulk, Immortal Hulk, but I think it doesn't exist now, as far as I remember. Otherwise, that Immortal Hulk could do really anything.
Oh, okay. But thinking about Angron now, when Angron is in his demon form, he's stronger than a normal Primarch. But then again, Sanguinius was able to defeat him and kill him. And, Sanguinius wasn't empowered by anything. By that point, he already fought freaking half of Terra. I mean, half of what was attacking Terra. And he survived that, and then he fought Angron. He survived Angron. So if Sanguinius can kill, Angron, then what's the issue with Hulk killing Angron?
Plus, have they ever seen actually a guy like that who really has that kind of power and
Oh my
can adapt to
gosh.
situations?
Oh my gosh, Bigelow Mel has returned. Thank you so much. That's huge support. Thank you.
Great man.
Thank you. I am floored. Thank you so much. So, Bigelow Mel, he says Hulk is dangerous for everyone in the 40k universe with no true upper boundary to his rage. There is no corresponding upper boundary to his strength. However, he is vulnerable to psychic and physiological attack from 40k era Metallist.
But
Did you mean Mechanicus?
Mentalists.
Ah, Mentalist. Sorry,
Yes.
sorry. Thank you, Bigelow Mel.
Well, but he's resistant to mind control.
Yeah, we were talking
said,
about
yeah.
that just at the very beginning of the stream.
He
that
really
he's
has a
resistant.
big resistance to that, especially I mean I think that after people went into go into his mind, they will never want to come back there again after that. So believe it or not, because for most people really they still think that it's this kind of stupid monster that just says Hulk strongest there is and Hulk smash. That's not what Hulk is now in some of the last years actually. So he really has big mind control resistance and psychic attacks. The firepower will make him slower, I think. So if they really try everything, then maybe. But again, I mean, even in the Marvel universe, they throw pretty much everything at him. That's why actually the Illuminati part of the Avengers resorted to this. Let's send him to another planet while he's sleeping, because
Oh,
that's the only thing we can do.
oh my
We cannot
god.
destroy him. We cannot kill him. Let's just send him to another planet and forget about him.
Like throw him away.
Yeah, and
something.
that's what they did.
Okay, but Bigelow Mel, feel free to point us to a particular moment in the comics where the Hulk
Exactly.
was, open to any psychic or psychological attacks. Maybe we can think of a particular case because Logan checked, and as far as he checked, the normal version of Hulk that we are discussing is really resistant to
Yeah.
any psychic attacks because of the nature of his mind, which is two people in
Sometimes
there.
even more.
Sometimes even more, yeah, and it's a hell in his head, basically.
Yeah.
To attack him is like, going one hellish demon going to another hellish demon's
Yeah.
head.
I think that's why
Something like
he
that.
will adapt pretty well to the world that he'll see in the 40k universe, because it's kind of like his mind in places.
In a way.
So, in a way. So yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, when we go through all the factions in 40k, we start with the Imperium. So from the Imperium, we can't really get someone that will defeat the Hulk. I mean, the Emperor obviously is the strongest one, but still,
We always resort to that. Yeah.
he has a powerful sword
still,
that's
yeah.
magical. So his sword, the power sword, maybe that will be able to hurt Hulk, but then Hulk is also able to regenerate very fast.
Maybe if in a way, if the fire from the sword kind of if he cuts his hand off, it will cauterize it and then
Cannot grow back.
cannot grow back or something like that. I mean,
But
why?
that's very far-fetched because he's
Yeah,
been
I mean
hurt
that
very
doesn't happen
badly.
even with Logan or Deadpool. I mean, it's not as if characters from Marvel have not tried. So, so yeah, and it would be interesting if actually the Hulk decides to grab the sword.
And the other equivalent that you can think about is if someone like Doctor Strange, who wields magic, can do something to Hulk, because Doctor Strange can do a lot of things.
He tried in the World of War
What will
Hulk
happen,
comic
yeah.
book that I told you. He
Okay.
failed, and the Hulk broke his hands. Again, he knows the weak spots, you know. So he failed. He couldn't control his mind or anything. He tried to also talk him out of it, but no, he was. You know, he was adamant about no, I came here to kick your butts, you know, and he did.
Oh, look at this. In the animated film Thor vs. the Hulk, Loki, with the help of Enchantress, was able to magically suppress the mind of Banner and take over the body of the Hulk in order to attack Asgard.
Yeah, but that's in that animated movie. Also, by the time that the animated movie was created, the mind control attack, the power that he actually does not let you to mind control, he was not established. That's why we said which version we are using. Yes, that's more in recent years. You know, also the animated movie is not pretty much based on it. It's a good movie. It's a good animated movie. But
let's remind everyone, because it's alive, which version of the Hulk we are talking about.
The established Hulk that we have now, not any other covers or things like that.
Established from the comic books?
Established from the comic books, yes. In the comic books now, he has that mind resistance. And the adaptation to different environments and, you know, the healing factor. And he always had that with the angrier he gets, the stronger. Although in the beginning it was not exactly that.
Okay, so basically in the older versions of of Hulk, he would totally be open to being controlled.
More susceptible, let's say, yes. But because of what happened with the mind of Bruce Banner, because that disorder was kind of locked before that. So because of what happens with his mind now, he learned to be resistant.
Okay, let's see what Voxcast says. So Magnus or Typhus would be major threats. Possibly Magnus could psychically suppress the virus Hulk personalities and keep Banner as the main driver. I mean, if Magnus or Typhus can do that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
If they could suppress the others.
I mean,
would be,
Magnus the Red is obviously the strongest of all the Primarchs when it comes to psychic abilities. He's second to the Emperor.
To suppress the others and get to Banner, actually you have to get through all the hell that you're going to see in his mind. Also, now Banner has really good connection with the main Hulk. Now they work a bit better than before. Banner really knows when he has to let things go, and the other Hulk knows when I need your genius now. So to use the intelligence of that. So to get to there would be really hard. So if they're that good, then maybe that's one way that they can stop him.
I feel that the connection between Hulk and Banner by this point is so strong that just someone coming from the outside and trying to separate the two just doesn't make much sense to me.
I mean, again, Doctor Strange tried.
Okay, and Typhus could use a Nurgle weapon like the Anathema to create a poison plague made specifically for the Hulk. Well, if they can figure out his physiology, because there's nothing like the Hulk in 40k. You know, there's no one that's affected by gamma rays and then mutated into this absolutely inflammable creature. I mean, for them, because there's really no equivalent of Hulk in the 40k. So I don't know if they can figure him out. Coming from a different universe and placing someone to another universe could be all kinds of confusing when it comes to, even if you're a writer and you try to figure those things out, how another character is going to work in another universe. That's what we're trying to figure out here. That's kind of the
I
point.
think that even if we let the other types of Hulk have access to that universe, let's say that Banner will decide to switch between different, although that's not exactly how it works, but still, I think that still he'll prefer the Hulk that we talk about, the established one that has all these powers, because that's really with who he has the best connection. That's the main Hulk, let's say the main co-pilot. Let's say it like that.
That's another thing.
With
Yeah.
the others, actually, Banner doesn't have that connection. So really, the strong connection, as you said, might be a big hindrance to mind control again.
Then again, the anatheme is the same weapon that the Emperor used in now The End in the Dead Volume 3. That's spoilers. Spoilers. To actually permanently, well, maybe not permanently, but to kill Horus by the new lore. So the anatheme is this weapon that it can kill demons, primarchs, basically gods. Technically, probably can kill the Emperor just the same. It's a very special, very ancient weapon. So can this weapon hurt somebody like the Hulk? But he's still not in the category of a primarch, a god. He is a human that is mutated with these incredible powers. He's not subjugated to the magic of the anatheme in the same way that all the others would be, because their nature of their power, it's basically coming from the same sources, and it's the same magic types. Whatever makes them strong, whatever makes the Emperor strong, whatever makes Horus strong, is still powers from the warp. And so these things are from the same matter or antimatter, so to speak, whereas the Hulk is not. So I'm not sure if the anatheme will still be able to even penetrate the Hulk, let alone kill him.
Yeah,
That is something
we
to
don't know
think about.
that. Yeah, it is something. It is something that gives them a chance. Again.
Yeah, and Bigelow Mail says, thanks, dear Clayton just wrote on my behalf. Thank you, dear Clayton. So, Bigelow Mail says, which comic series are including? Do you mean Hulk's plot arc up through World War Hulk? If that's the case, we know that both Sentry and Ghost Rider are both capable of challenging Hulk on equal basis.
Even Thor, but still he defeated all of them. Let's say, as we said, we include the Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, but what continues to happen after that, up until today, which actually means that Hulk died several times and he was revived several times. But still, even what happens up until today, he has all these powers that we said, and still kind of Marvel's undefeated champion by that point.
You know what is a good question? Because Bigelow Mail said Sentry, Ghost Rider, if they're both capable of challenging, at least, fighting with the Hulk, then what are their powers that we have some kind of equivalent of in 40k? Maybe this way we can figure out who can challenge Hulk.
Taking Sentry, for example, he's kind of like a ripoff of Superman.
Oh, yes.
So you need a guy that is kind of like Superman, let's say. So maybe Sanguinius or...
Sanguinius is not like Superman.
But he's not like that.
He can still be cut and wounded and killed, and
here you go, yes.
His skin is not bulletproof.
Yeah.
He's stronger. He can heal by some extent. He can fight with wounds for hours and hours and hours, but he can't, weapons still pierce his skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one like Superman. Okay, so there's no one like Superman. There's no one like Ghost Rider in the 40k universe. What are actually the powers of Ghost Rider?
Compare Ghost Rider to some type of hellish demon, because that's what he has. So these powers, and he's the biggest power, the penance there, that the moment he looks at you, but you have to be a bad person for that to work. I mean, if you have killed several people or something like that, and you did bad things, when he looks at you with a penance there, you will feel the pain of all the souls that you hurt.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's really, really bad.
That's really bad.
And as Bigelow Mail said, Ghost Rider's threat is supernatural in nature, not physical or strength-based. Yeah, so what can he do to the Hulk then,
Except for the penance there, which won't work because Hulk never killed innocent people, you
Uh-huh.
know. He still has super strength and all the fire things that he can do and things like that. So
What else
I think
supernatural?
I think that the the transformation and everything else that he can do with that. But he can't summon demons or things like that, as far as I remember. Maybe there is something new now. But these are hellish powers. Are there some demons that we can compare to that?
There's a lot of demons, champions of corn, and so on. There's demon, I
Maybe
mean,
some
ton
of
of
them can do
demons for
something,
every
yeah.
chaos god.
But again, I mean, Hulk fought and that it won't be the first time
And
that he'll
died, you
do it.
mean?
Fought and that, I mean, that things like that.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm still trying to think, guys, who can hurt really the Hulk, because you can take all of the chaos gods, they can't really tempt him. You know, he's already angry.
Yeah.
Maybe Korn can try to be like, hey, Hulk, you don't really kill. Let's make you kill now. Just blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne, all those things. But Hulk can always have crossed the line if he wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, if he wanted to kill all the Avengers when he came back in World War II, he would have done it. He came to beat them and to prove them a point. So he could have actually.
He's just not that kind of a guy.
No. Yeah.
And then Slanesh wouldn't tempt him at all. He's not that kind of a deprived soul.
Yeah.
Norgo is just disgusting.
I mean, they can try to tempt a banner inside, but still, as we said, the connection with two of them is pretty big, so Hulk still will
he really
protect
just
him
does
in
not
the
have
mind.
such tendencies
Yeah.
anyway. And then, you know, Zinch can always try to lie to him and manipulate him in a lot of ways, saying half truths, all of that. But Banner is a very intelligent guy
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
He will see right through that,
Exactly.
really.
Yeah.
And the Hulk is not that stupid when it comes to
No.
such things, also.
Yeah.
So I don't think they will do anything. Then we have to, you know, when we already finish with the Imperium of Man, we have to think about the other factions. So first that come to mind, of course, are the Necrons. So the Necrons have all the technology, the most advanced technology in the whole 40k universe. They broke the Khitan, which are like ancient gods, beings. They broke them into pieces to use them as infinite energy through the ages, and from them they were able to develop other technologies and use them as batteries in a way. But then the Khitan, I'm not sure how material, from what matter they are made. They are obviously made from some matter because they are able to be defeated and spread apart. I don't know if that same technology that they use to break them apart can be used with anything else, and with a body that is hard and as durable as that of the Hulk. I still think that because of the way that, you know, the Khitan fought the old ones and they still can do those things, maybe, just maybe, it seems like they can be destroyed by regular means, just if it's like a huge, bigger, broader explosion of some sort. So you know, if that's the case, then any weapon that is of the kind of huge mega explosion, whatever it is, would not break Hulk apart at all.
Yeah, maybe he can also make a gamma explosion with the radiation that he can emit. So
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
explode in gamma,
basically, yeah.
and that's gonna be like a party for him, you know,
Yeah.
not something that will destroy him, something that will make him more powerful. So maybe, just maybe, the Necrons, because they don't know what the heck this is, they maybe can make him stronger by accident.
By
even
accident, yeah.
if they try
Yeah.
to shoot him with some green laser.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they have some radiation without actually knowing it, and maybe that will help him, you know, or maybe he emitting the radiation will mess up their machineries or something. like
Yeah,
that.
actually, because they're all tech,
Yeah.
they don't have their souls anymore.
And for him, usually when he sees robotic creatures to fight, he's very happy because he knows that he can let loose even more.
Smash!
Yeah.
Smash!
Not people.
And they're
so-
not hard to smash.
Yeah, well,
Astartes can smash them.
well, then.
Astartes can pull their heads off.
So actually, maybe, as we say, if some guys from his universe has chances against him, then really that's what the guys from Warhammer need. Super creatures then, apparently.
Very, very super. I mean,
Very,
someone
very
that's very
super, yeah.
durable in terms of the physical body. Because although the Primarchs are, and the Emperor is, when you can fight him and beat him to a pulp, then they're not durable enough to meet the Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Necrons. Then we have the Tau. The Tau have a lot of firepower, but you know, from afar, they're not really that good in hand-to-hand combat. They have good armor, but really nothing that Astartes can deal with. Meaning that Hulk will just beat them.
I think that if anything,
Again.
they actually might try to work with him.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
They
They
kind of
might.
seem like in Planet Hulk and World Hulk, the people who actually see him as, or maybe that's the hope there.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
The Tau are such people.
Yeah.
They try to, you know, see the better, to talk about the greater good, to try to achieve that. They're
So I
not
got them
really.
pretty good actually. I was just seeing
Yeah.
them once or twice.
Yeah, it's not. They're not crazy. Maybe they're a bit more to the goodly. There's no such word. To the other extreme of things, maybe a bit naive. But at the end of the day, they have the right idea, as far as I know, the Tao.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's good that if you try to do something better and not just go for the gun each time. And they even try to prevent, you know, the conflict in this what we have now with Warhammer Plus, the Exodite. You know, the Exodite was causing the conflict. They were trying to prevent it. They seemed really, really reasonable. So maybe they were trying to join him.
Join him, you know, yeah.
But if we have to think about versus, I think that he's gonna destroy
Oh,
them
yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Totally. Okay, then we have Jesus. Oh, the Tyranids, let's say. The Tyranids are basically like Alien, but a lot worse. They can eat all biological matter. So that means planets, plants, trees. It's the same thing. Animals, I mean everything. Astartes with the armor. I don't think they can eat Hulk because still they have teeth. They can be broken.
Still,
They can be tear. Yeah.
Tear apart, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
into
he'll just
pieces.
get them and start tearing them
Yeah,
apart again.
I don't see how they're gonna do
again,
anything.
if it's enemies that are not people, he won't have any restraints.
Yeah, he will just
Yeah.
go through them, basically. There are hordes of Tyranids, but still, it doesn't matter, really. He can fight for days.
He fought against creatures like that are one of the enemies of the X-Men, but then they went into other guys from Marvel. The Brute, they were kind of like this bug-like creatures against something that comes from the area, like a mix of that, and they basically turn people into creatures like them by, you know, giving them spores of them and things like that, and then it incubates inside you and you turn into one of those guys, and that's how they make the colonies. Hulk fought on them. So and the Queen Mother was pretty big.
So they cannot turn him into anything?
No.
Okay. Oh, actually, Big
Again,
Romeo.
because of the regeneration, because they tried to do that with Wogan too, but he regenerated the process. So the healing factor does not let the spores to work.
Yeah, okay. So Big Romeo has something very good here. Nurgle or Zinj offer the greatest primary temptation to Banner, both potentially dangling the potential of a cure.
That would be a good case, but again, in versions that in the Hulk that we have today, he doesn't look for the cure.
He doesn't look for a cure anymore?
Well, he accepts that he has to be this and this, the two sides.
So when he has acceptance, he cannot be tempted.
Yeah, and because he has the acceptance of that, that's why the connection is actually deeper, and all those powers appear because he finally accepted. Yeah. But there is another coin before that again from him.
Oh, Kron seems to offer most credible temptation to the Hulk, the reward of rage and violence, which he has anyway.
This will work for the Red Hulk, actually, because that's a completely different person. The Red Hulk will revel in that. You just say sure, just
Sure.
give it to me. But again, here, the connection with Banner and Hulk is really big. Even if Hulk tries to slip up to that reward, Banner will be there to pull him, because Banner himself does not want that, the rage and the
Yeah.
violence.
He just not.
But acceptance with the two now makes this one beautiful creature that cannot be defeated, probably. So.
Oh, interesting.
Now, maybe at this very moment that we have that discussion somewhere at Marvel offices, there is a writer who writes how somebody finally defeated Hulk, and we'll see that comic book next week.
But
For the
now,
time being,
yeah. And besides, I was thinking, if Nergal and Zinch show themselves, because they usually, I mean, it is understandable. I mean, it doesn't say exactly how they present themselves in front of, let's say, Horus when he went to talk to them, or the Emperor, but it doesn't seem like they hide, they hid how they really look or anything like that. So if they take the Hulk as someone very, very important they can potentially use, and they show themselves as they are, he will be totally disgusted and just go the other direction. He'll be, what the hell is this I'm getting out of here? Because remember, he is in another universe and he sees the most horrifying, disgusting creatures ever. I mean, Zinch is not a pretty guy. Let's not talk about Nurgle, who is absolutely the rot of the universe, literally. If they just, be themselves, Hulk is gonna be like shocked and appalled and just go, or try to punch them or something. So I don't think
I'm
that
sure he'll try that.
that
Yes.
will work the same way as the way that it worked with the Emperor. I mean, the Emperor tried to use them, so he doesn't care how they look, he just wanted the power. Horus also does not care how they look because he knows what they are, and he thought that he can control what they give him and totally take him for his own. So it's just totally different, Hulk would not know anything about these guys, and for him, that's gonna be like a threat with a huge capital letters. And no
Big
one,
threat, big
no one in their right mind will ever listen to these creatures. Or if they present as someone else that looks very nice, still he will be like, "Who are you and what?
What did you
What
want?
do you want? Who are you and what? Who are you?" That's kind of how it seems to be. And Bigelmel says,
That was if Johnny Bravo is in the first.
yes. Bigelmel says, Slanesh, however, is unique in offering the temptation of romantic emotion and sexual fulfillment, something the Hulk always longs for, as an often isolated and hermetic figure.
In a way, but it's not as if he never had.
Plus, Slanesh will offer excess. I mean, Slanesh is
Can
not
she
one in
offer
moderation.
actually romantic things?
I mean,
Isn't it more
it's
of
the
a...
opposite. It's like
Okay.
depravity, all the extremities of the extreme.
Yeah. I mean, Bruce Banner seems like a decent guy, so
Yeah.
I
I mean, I'm not sure if Slanesh can just go so low, with her standards, because it's, he's too gendered. And be like, I'm just gonna lower all of my extreme things and just
Yeah.
offer you normal.
normal
Yay!
normal stuff, yes.
I don't know if
So
that's
yeah,
gonna
I
work.
mean, he was kind of married in Planet Hulk, but then the explosion and things like that. But it's not as if he never found women who were kind of close to that, including Betty Ross. But then there were others. She's just the most famous love interest that he had.
Yeah, it's love interest,
So
not the private interest.
Yeah. So here we go. I mean, he found a way to be able to have love even in the two forms. I say so.
Oh, okay. So he continues. Over time, Slanesh's promise is corrupting. It might start out pure, but it ain't gonna last like that. Okay, I totally see your reasoning. But I never see Slanesh to be so easygoing, even if it's for the end goal of totally corrupting someone. It always seems that She starts directly with the worst things and continues from there. It's always, I mean, whatever I read anything about Slanesh, it was always about here's everything, go with it.
Yeah,
Here's all the worst stuff possible. I just don't remember to be, like any. I mean, maybe it's a bit of an incline to the worst things, but it always starts not from the normal things. It starts from like mm, an orgy, let's say. Oh, boom! Here you go.
maybe she'll tell him, Hulk, you can have an orgy with other gamma creatures.
Is he even attracted to
but I
that?
mean, no, but I mean, Banner himself doesn't look like a guy who will be that easy to get from that in comic books. Maybe the guy from the movie, but in comic books he doesn't seem like a guy who will be that easy to grab with something with an offering like that.
Yeah, even if in that scene with the Avengers, if we have to talk about the
Mhm.
movies, I mean, is that Hulk from the Avengers the Hulk from the comic books?
The one who was in love with
Yeah,
Black Widow, no,
no,
no.
okay. Because he was very, very, very not the
No,
guy that.
that Hulk in
Yeah.
movies, it just pale shadow to the Hulk because they don't know what to do with him. He is a very complex character actually to make a movie with him to show those things because most people just want to see the big gigantic creature that hits stuff. And
Yeah, he
they
was very
can,
contained,
yeah,
especially when it comes to Black Widow, because she obviously was interested in him, and he was like,
yeah, yeah.
the opposite of what the
The
Hulk
opposite of
is.
what the Hulk is
He's like
exactly.
so
Yes.
timid. Even if
Yeah.
he likes her, he would be like, "Where is the ship?
Yeah.
I have to go.
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
to run away.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Absolutely not. Yeah, which Banner is not that kind of guy actually.
There's a beautiful woman in the room.
Let's run away
Let's run."
to another planet. Yes.
Yes, something like that.
Also,
So
he has a son.
yeah, I mean, even if you have reason, those temptations from a sexual side cannot do
Yeah.
anything
I
if you
mean,
have reason, if that is
if
over
if
the
it was the
orgy.
Hulk from the Ultimate Universe, then it would work because Hulk in the Ultimate Universe, the Ultimate comic books that they killed off that universe. Now I heard that they revived it back in comic books. That Hulk wanted things like that. Let's say because when in one of the issues when he transformed into Hulk, then he transformed into the Grey Hulk, I think, and that Hulk wanted to find Betty Ross and do stuff to her because Bruce Banner was suppressing those feelings because they were together, but they were kind of not together, and he felt like not big of a man enough. So if it, and she was dating Freddie Prinze Jr. in that comic book.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
The actor.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
the
And,
real person.
yeah. Okay. And that's the Ultimate Universe. So if it was that Hulk, it would have worked actually. But I don't think that it will work against the normal Hulk or any of those superheroes because to me they don't seem like guys that are that easy to grab with something like that. I mean, can you tempt Captain America? For example, I never see them like people like that.
Oh, Bigelow Mel has a great question.
Nice. All the questions are good until this.
Yeah,
Actually,
thank
so
you
we
for
enjoy
all the
them. Thank you.
questions. Yeah, thank you so. Have you guys ever read Fulgrim from the Horus Heresy and the Decay of the Primarch, his legion, and the population of his ship during the Great Crusade? A good rendition of a slow fall to chaos. Yes, this is actually one of my favorite books from the Horus Heresy. I just love Fulgrim. I love this freaking book. It's amazing. It's one of the books that made me think so much about everything in 40k and in general about the psychology of Fulgrim and yes, how a person can fall to chaos, particularly to Slanesh. Yes, but there is the thing. Actually, if you want to go back or if dear Clayton can find it, I made a full review and analysis of that book. So I will tell you real quick. So Fulgrim, what is the thing about all the Primarchs that fell to chaos? They all had something, that is a characteristics of their character, a particular feature, a weakness, and that feature and weakness was what corresponded to a particular chaos god, and that is why they all fell. And Fulgrim, he had this love of himself. He had such a high self-esteem. He is a bit of a bon vivant. He has some interesting qualities to him that are good, but some that relates to his ego, which led to his eventual fall to chaos. And what happened in the very end, which shook me to my core, was that he realized what was done, but he was tricked to give control of his body to a demon who basically rented his body, took over his body, and then Fulgrim himself was locked in a tiny little place in his head, in his mind, forced for eternity to watch how his body is used by this demon and doing horrific things. So basically, the real Fulgrim, he said, yes, open, yes, I'm open, go in, take my body, do whatever, because he thought that is how he would gain something. But he he was just left to be a prisoner in his own mind. It's just amazing. But deep down, he's there, he sees what is happening, he regrets what is happening. That is, I think, at the very end of the book. I'll just never forget it, because it just really shook me. So basically, yeah, he fell to chaos. You can say slowly, but there are certain things with that blade as well, and all the things that happened to him. I mean, I don't remember like all of the details by this point, but I remember what really, really mattered, which is once again telling you that he had the potential to fall to chaos. He had the potential to be tricked by chaos. Certain things that happened to him. There was some talk with the Eldar at some point, so it just pushed him into that direction. But him, as well as everyone else, Horus as well, they all had some kind of an ego problem. They were ego driven and thus vulnerable to manipulation from chaos. And whoever was more akin to, most closer, let's say closer to a particular chaos god in terms of what they liked, what they didn't like, those Primarchs went for this and that chaos god. Of course, Mortarion, his name is Mortarion. He basically is in his name. Of course that he's gonna go to Nurgle, who is the god of death, decay, disgusting things.
With a name like that, yes.
It's normal. Yeah, it's close to the mind. The rest of the Primarchs too, to an extent. Freaking Angron went to Khorne. Who else? And of course the bon vivant, who is Fulgrim, will go to Slanesh. He's purple. His armor's purple. That's how they draw him. So, Bruce Banner and Hulk, they're totally not this type of a person.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're the opposite. If anything, they will be disgusted and shocked and appalled. And it's one thing for a person to want love, it's totally different thing to fall to depravity. And those things are actually not connected at all.
Yeah.
If you want love, you want love. You will be disgusted by all the other things that are based not on love but on pure lust and another lack of qualities, let's say, that will lead to the bad stuff.
Banner is not that
the superficial things. The superficial things, what is coming from pure physical and hormones versus what is coming from real love, and then that leads to the physical. Because I'm also a relationship expert as well as everything else, so I can talk about these things anyway from a psychological standpoint as well, not only from the standpoint of fictional universes, but all the characters are based on some kind of a psychology. So that's why I'm telling you that such a person that has some integrity in them will not fall to chaos no matter how tempting it looks, because their nature does not correspond to the nature of the temptation.
Exactly.
That's like actually the best way to say it.
That's the idea of the characters who are superheroes. They might seem too perfect to us, but that's what they were always trying to show us, that here, this there can be you. You know.
Oh, thank you, dear Clayton. You find the review?
I found the review, nice.
Oh,
Very
thank you so much. Thank you.
Mhm.
And Bigelow says, great, we watched the review, thank you.
You have it
He
nice.
also says, right, the Hulk, for all his age and all his the difficulties, you mean? Deficits, sorry. Maybe be more like one of the loyalist Primarchs and resistant to being defeated by various chaos temptations. Exactly. Just think about the Primarchs that are good, that didn't fall to chaos, that saw the error of their brothers' ways. Everyone saw what Horus has become, and they talked to him, and he was like, nah, no. I can control chaos. They cannot control me. And then what happened? They took his powers, and he was left to, well, be defeated by the Emperor. When he decided to be not very good child of chaos. Anyway, okay, so we have to wrap this up. We are talking for 56 minutes. So
we are excited for the comments after the
yes, we are very much.
Course, yes.
Okay, let's quickly go through the other factions. So orcs, no.
No. Whoa.
No, they will die. They will die.
Yeah.
I mean,
they even
orcs,
might say that guy is big and green. Maybe he can become our leader or something.
he will
by that
become
point,
their leader.
So
They will be like, oh, it's a big orc.
yeah,
Orc
bigger
is
than us,
leader.
stronger than us. Therefore,
Smarter.
leader, smarter.
The
yes.
biggest orc is the leader.
Yeah.
The biggest freaking orc.
Also, he will be the most beautiful among them. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, orcs can manifest things when they think about them. Like if a machine is red, it can go faster because it's red.
It's always great how of all the creatures, actually they have that power. So
Yeah, it's so funny. But he can beat everyone. He will literally become their leader.
Yeah.
But let's say they all go against him for some reason. I think that they will totally respect him right away.
Yeah.
But even if they go against him with all of their machines and orc weapons, he will bust them all. Just, I don't think there's contest there. I cannot think of anything that orcs can even do to him. Like, nothing.
Yeah.
They cannot use their spores to spread their orcs babies in him.
No,
So,
because of the regeneration.
yeah. Okay, so orcs are down. The Eldar. Okay. The Eldar, one of the most advanced one, once again, technologically. They have a ton of technologies. They have huge mechs, huge. I don't know how they're
Nice,
called, actually.
more stuff to break there. Was it?
More stuff to break, really. If he can fight a giant Ant-Man without any issues, he can fight one of the giant creature robots.
It won't be the first gigantic robot yet.
I'm not sure how the Eldar's huge robots work. They just look like huge Eldar. So I'm not sure about that. You have
So
to
is
let
the
me
pilot
know.
inside or something?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. I saw them, but they look so much like a real living, breathing Eldar that I'm just not sure what they are. I have to check. I really don't know about them.
The guys in the comments will tell us.
Yeah, they will
We'll
tell
see
us.
and we'll answer if actually after what we learned.
I'm trying to think
Can do
about
something.
weapons that the Elder can use against Hulk, but I can't. Of course, the Eldar, they are also the Drukhari, which are the Dark Eldar. They are disgusting. They follow Slanesh, and basically they have to do horrible things to survive. If they don't do that, he will suck their souls.
Oh boy.
So they literally have to do horrible things in order for Slanesh to not, touch them. Because the way that Slanesh works, when he was created, basically he sucked all of the souls that she can possibly suck from the Eldar,
How nice.
and they are doomed. They have to think about different ways to save themselves, and the Drukhari thought of this way. Unfortunately, they're kind of to blame that Slanesh is existing anyways. and the other Eldar went to Craft Worlds, went to the Webway, went to I don't know where the Exodite are. They also Exodite themselves.
You have a great comment.
And
not just the comments.
and thank you, Big Lamel just floored me absolutely today. This is the biggest, literally the biggest support that I ever gotten here. Thank you so much. So he says, thank you so much for letting me dominate the discussion today, responding to all my questions. Sorry for hogging chat, everyone. The Imperator. Are you kidding
Nothing
me?
to say about you are great.
We
exactly.
totally enjoy and love, and we are going to
Yes.
respond to every comment, even if it's not super chat. We
Yeah,
are
of
responding
course.
literally to every comment, even if
Exactly,
it's
yes.
not
And
super
they were
chat.
all great comments and ideas that we discussed, and yeah, so
Yeah, I'm putting a
it was,
heart
the
there.
pleasure was ours.
But you know, since these super chats are essential to my living, I can't thank you enough. But in any case, we'll always respond to every of your comments. I doubt that once, one day we have such a chat like John Campion, we will not be able to
Yeah, well,
respond. If that
might be
happens,
better than him. Who
that
knows,
means
yes.
that my life is better financially, but we'll always make sure that you are a priority in any case, even
course,
if
yeah.
that happens, because you're the first, one of the first that have given me so much support financially, and of course dear Clayton, of course other people, but the first people that are first founders, so to speak, there always be a priority and number one. So, okay, guys, let's just go through mentally.
Is there anyone left?
Did
for
we?
reflections, or?
There's probably some Xenos that we totally forgot, and I'm pretty sure that I forgot someone. So, Tau, Orcs, Necrons, the Eldar, the Tyranids. There's some creatures as well.
Are the Ogrins in the...
Ogress,
Yeah.
yeah, they are strong, but
They're-
they cannot
yeah,
compare to the
well.
Hulk. Okay, I'm sure that you will tell us in the chat. Of course, there's bigger from the Tyranids. There are bigger Tyranids, but that still won't. They still can't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, he fought with bigger guys, so
Yeah.
probably that will be it. But yeah, do tell us in the comments if we are missing something. Do tell us about other cases that could be a theory. So we'll try again to answer to all of those. As we said,
Yes.
we in any shape we form, we don't think that Hulk is the greatest, and we try to make him the biggest champion. That's what some of the facts show, but we could always have different theories, and that's the fun of it. So do share all of them, or say different cases in different comic books. Just don't forget, we stick to that Hulk that is, the green one up until the point that we have today. No Grey Hulk, no
Red.
Devil Hulk and other things like that.
No, the Grandma of Hulk.
The Grandma of Hulk. Yeah, someday he has to turn into a green grandma or something like that by this point, but so.
Okay, so next time, guys, and hi to Bithar Z had not, aka Richardson Scott. Hi to you, Richardson. Everyone is welcome. Be of good spirits. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, guys, I wanted to say that we thought about making Batman as well. So, if you want to see Batman versus 40k, because things are gonna be so interesting there. He's a human.
Yeah.
Just let us know in the comments.
But he's a resourceful human.
Of course.
Let us know.
And we are thinking to do this particular thing to ourselves, which is to go and see Madame Web.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I mean,
it's probably gonna be fun to talk about. We'll see how bad it is. And
I mean, we survived Morbius, so I think we'll survive them that too.
Yeah,
Can't be that
just
bad.
not worse than Morbius. Maybe we're gonna survive
I don't
it.
think it's worse, yes.
Oh yes, likewise, God bless, thank you. So if you want to see also anything about Madame Web, but if you were just us talking about it,
Madame Web survive in
yeah, just let us know as well. Just gonna be fun, really. I mean, fun for us to talk about it, but how fun it's gonna be, probably, I don't know.
If you want Gary to review a particular movie or TV show, you just go to her Patreon.
Yeah,
too, yes.
that too. We have watched
RoboCop.
RoboCop
The
for the
original.
first time.
Yes. For you.
For me,
I'm,
yes. For
professional
me.
with RoboCop. So.
Yeah, live. We watched it live, and it was great. So we can also do that through Patreon. So guys, thank you so much. This was one of the most fun streams for us to do as well.
Great.
And I have no words about the amazing support of Bigelow Mail. Thank you to everyone in the chat, guys. And whatever it is, you can always write. And yes, social media is down below if you want to connect with me in person. So yeah, love you guys. Have a great Friday. Yeah.
Friday
Yeah,
tomorrow,
Friday,
yes.
yes.
And a great weekend, yes.
And a great weekend. We will see each other very soon. From me, the 40K Empress, and Logan K. Oh, definitely make that a live stream. Robocop is so fun. Yeah, it's already a live stream.
Yeah, you can actually watch it.
You
Just
can
put
watch
on
it right now.
the movie so
Yeah,
that you
put
can
on the
watch
movie.
it. Yeah.
And when we press play, you press play, and we can watch it together this way. It's already there.
So yeah, if you really want a particular movie review, as we say, the Patreon there, so it will be fun as always.
Absolutely. Although Bigelow Mail can wish whatever
by
movie,
this point, yeah, so
whatever watch along Bigelow Mail,
exactly.
because you already supported me so much, so you can just say
Yeah.
whatever movie you want us to do a watch along.
Yeah.
And of course we cannot play the movie live. We can play only certain like moments here and there and comment on it, but we cannot play the whole movie because then the movie studios are going to cut my head off.
Yes.
But still, where we
But we
are
will do it,
when
yes.
we talk and when we react, so it's still literally like watching the movie together. Thank you guys. Okay, quickly mentioning my coaching, if anyone is interested in my coaching, of course. Hold on, what did I press something? No. Okay,
No.
this is something. This is what I do at OnlyFans, where I coach and help people. Use it for good. Use it for good. Not for slaneshi things.
No.
And that is it, guys. See you.
See you.
Love ya.